Hello, everyone. I'm Deanne Castro, Creative Memories Advisor, and I like to make scrapbook borders. Um, One of these days, I'm making around to actually making some pages for you. But if, as many of you, if you've seen my videos, know that I like making scrapbook borders. So I have another one for you tonight. This is another one I made for the Crop and Connect group. And it's similar to one you've already seen before, yet it was so pretty that I still wanted to show it to you all you guys. So let's go over to the desktop and I'll show it to you. Okay, so I used the Scallop 3-in-1 punch, and this one has 3 different settings. So right now it's locked. But the first one will punch just a scallop square. The second section will punch the scallop square and a square out of the middle. The last one will punch the bigger square, the middle square, and then another square out of the middle of that. So it gives you 3 different punches. Okay, so then I'm also using the River Waves punch. This one's an old one, but it's come back a couple of different times for specials and stuff like that. So I'm sure probably a lot of you have this one, um, but I really like it. It's pretty versatile. So this one actually is only about a 7¼ inch piece. It's not the full 12-inch like what I usually make, but it was kind of a leftover piece, and I really liked it. So I just punched each end, used the River Waves border punch to add a piece in between, and then I added one of the painted garden embellishments on top of that. So here's another one. This one is the full 12-inch length, where I cut 3 sections, one on each side and one in the middle. Then added the River Waves piece on either side and some other embellishments. So I thought that was really cute. These little worms and the ladybugs. And then this one is the larger one of the small one I just showed you. So then again, it's punched on each end and in the middle, the River Waves piece on either side. I even added a sticker in here on top of it and cut the edges of the sticker to add on either end where I turned all these pieces over. Okay, so let's get started and I'll show you how I made it. So the first piece that I'm going to cut is going to be 2⅛ by 12. Okay, so it's going to be 2 inches and 1/8, which is halfway between the 2-inch and the 1/4 inch. Okay, and I've got the straight blade in right now. And what that does, that sizing is going to allow me to put the paper in this punch, and then it's going to be equal on either side all the way down. So this is 2 1/8. Okay, move this out of the way for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over to punch all 3 sections. So the punch all the way down. And then I'm going to line the end of this piece of the paper up on the end of the border. So just, you can see the paper there. I'm going to move it over to where it's right on the edge. So it's not even hanging off. It's right there on the edge of this punch. Okay. So I'm going to punch from one side. Make sure it's straight across. Okay, and that leaves 3 pieces that were punched out of this section. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, where I'm going to put the paper in, and I'm going to line it right up on the edge. Okay, so that's going to make both sides even. Okay, so These two pieces come out of the middle. Once you punched it, they come out of here. This little square on the bottom actually comes out the bottom, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of line the border up, put the punch about right in the middle. So right at the 6-inch mark on here. Then I'm going to put this paper in and I'm going to kind of guess about where the center is in here. So I've got about equal distance from the edges on either side of here. So now I'm just going to put this in here and I'm going to punch it. So that should be pretty close to the middle. Okay. So now I've got this 12-inch border with 3 punches out of it. So I'm now going to use these. So I'm going to turn the first one over and make kind of a diamond out of it. And it's going to go back on the top here. Okay. Then I'm going to take the next piece that was punched and I'm going to use the same color. So I'm going to use some repositionable adhesive here. And I'm going to make a square on top of the diamond. And just kind of eyeball it and you can center it right on there. Okay, so you've got that square right there. So now I'm going to do the same thing with the little square. I'm going to turn it back over. So I'm going to have the yellow face up again and then make another diamond out of it on top. And you really only need the adhesive on the very ends here. So that's where the repositionable comes in handy. Okay, so now I'm going to center this on here. Set it down, it's a little easier. Okay, so that's what that looks like. And then that's going to go right on the top of where it was originally punched. So I'm going to do that with the next two. Oh, I'm missing a piece. I know I had it. Where'd it go? There it is. It's hiding on the bottom. Okay. And then I'm going to put this one here. This one here. And then that one will be ready. Isn't this punch cool? I really like it. It's super versatile. So the first section on this punch would only punch this piece, but it would be the full scallop square. The second one would then punch this out of it. So you'd have this frame, but then you would have a full square in the middle. And then you saw what the third one did. So if you don't have this punch, get a hold of your advisor because this is really cool. This is not for sale on the regular website, but it is for sale for advisors, and then we can get them to you. So get a hold of your advisor. If you don't have one, I would be happy to be your advisor and help you out and get you these products. You can, let me quickly show you. You can go to my website and check out all the other items that we have. And if you have any questions, let me know and I can help you get the items that you need. Okay? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to punch a piece with the river waves border. Okay? Those of you who have not used these punches before, they've got these little marks on the front. And this will tell you where to line the paper up to begin with, depending on which way you're going to be pulling the paper through the punch. I tend to start on the left and move the paper over to the left. And then there's this blue here that matches the pattern of the punch. And I'll show you what to do with that in a second. So I'm going to, which way am I going to do this? Okay. I'm going to put the paper in, line it up with that black line, and make sure the back is pushed all the way up against the back. So it's going to go through straight. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is move the paper to the left, and I'm going to match up all that blue, cover up all of that blue that was on this base here. There's also some of them have, if the pattern is super hard to match, they have this little triangle here at the bottom. So you can match that triangle up there as well. Okay, then again, make sure the paper's all the way at the back. Punch it again and continue moving across until you've punched the full 12-inch piece. Okay, make sure the blue's all up. It's all lined up straight. Make sure the paper is pushed all the way into the back. Since you can't see the back on this very end part, make sure it's pushed all the way in. And there, you've got this piece. Now this you can also punch or just cut various pieces out of here to give it a different pattern, but I'm just going to leave it as is for this evening. Okay, move this out of the way. Now, before I put these back on here, I am going to trim this so that it fits in between each of these. So I'm going to use my handy dandy little scissors here. I'm going to cut it about right here. So this piece will go here. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Let's see, cut it about here. Okay, and then this is leftovers that you can use for another border. So I think what I'm going to do, because I think this will show up better, I'm going to use the other side of this paper. Okay, and then I'm just going to adhere this down on either side. Kind of eyeball it, just get it centered in there as much as you can. Same thing with the other side. Okay, now I'm going to put these pieces back on the border. And then this being the square, I'm going to put the diamond shape over it. And turn it in there. And one last piece. Starting to come together. Isn't that pretty? Okay. Next, I'm going to use some embellishments out of the Painted Garden embellishment pack. Now, what I like to do is I like to purchase the digital kit, download it, and then use these embellishments, print them out, do a print and cut from my Cricut. And I like to do that because in the embellishment pack, the bird only comes this direction. But when I use my Cricut, I can do a mirror image and turn it over. So now I have two and they can face each other. And I just really like that. I think that's really cool. Okay, I'm going to put this one here and the other one on the other side. Okay, and this border is basically done. So you can put it on your page just like this, or if you don't really like the hole sticking through here, because once you put it on your page, it'll have a little bit of a background on it. If you want, you can then take another sheet of paper, cut it at about 2 3/8, because this one is 2 1/8. So if you make it about 1/4 of an inch bigger, then you can have a big enough piece to mount behind it. So if you want, you can then add another sheet of paper behind it. Now that yellow, I think it's pretty, but it doesn't really show off the decoration very well because it's both yellow. So what I then could do is I could use this sheet of paper, or I could even use the other side. So I'm going to cut this at the 2 3/8 inch, and just see if it just looks a little better. So that's kind of what I do is I just play with the colors until it gets to the point where I like it. So I'm going to cut this one at 2 3/8. See what this looks like. So if I put this on here, I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you like that pretty color showing through? I think that looks nice, but let's try the other side because this is the side that I used for the river waves border. So the river waves border punch shows up better having that particular background. So play with it. I think I'm going to leave it here. Add this a little bit on the sides. But do what you like. Just keep playing with it until you get it to the point where you really like the way it's come out. Okay, and there we have it. So there's that one. Here's one with a different color. Again, no background on this one. This one I did put a background. I put a purple underneath it, and I think that really showed up well. Okay, and then we've got this one with no background. Here. Ooh, I wonder what this would look like. I think that's pretty. Okay, so this border's done, guys. And let me know what you think. And remember, if you haven't so far, think about subscribing. And then if you click on the bell, it will notify you when my videos come out each week. So you can have a chance to take a look at them. And I have a Facebook group kind of in progress. I let you know all of the new products that are coming out and other ideas that I can find from other people, other things. And I also am getting together with some of two of my friends. Um, we're going to be starting a Friday evening scrapbook workshop type thing. The three of us will be showing two different pages, how to put together two different fairly simple pages, taking our turns. And I'm in California, they're over on the East Coast. So it's going to be pretty fun. And the information for that is on my Facebook group. So if you'd like to be a part of my Facebook group, just request to join and I'll let you in and you'll have the information on that Friday night um, scrapbook border or scrapbook page and probably some borders thrown in too. Okay. So, um, thanks so much for joining me, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you have any questions or would like to share your ideas, let me know. You can find me at DeanneCMC2 at yahoo.com. Okay. So thanks again, guys. I really appreciate all of you who watch and support my channel. And I will talk to you later next week. Okay. Bye.